Welcome to the Save Par Golf Podcast, where two average golfers talk about golf and things. I'm your host, Eric.
I'm your host, Dominic.
We are currently on episode 38, and we have a special guest today. We have Matt, Jake, and Braden, and they started Superfan Sprint. If you don't follow them on Instagram, make sure to hit that follow button. The Instagram handle is @SuperfanSprint. Fellows, thank you so much for taking the time and joining us on our podcast. Super excited to talk about Superfan Sprint and how it came about. You want to just kind of talk about that?
Yeah, Jake, you want to go for it or?
Yeah, sure. So basically in February, Matt and another one of our buddies, Kai, he came out to visit me in California. We went to the Waste Management tournament, and we're pretty captivated with how the tournament how it promotes the game and just how the golf community comes together in different ways. We're just kind of sitting in the stands there on 16, and there's basically like people like us. There's families. There's old people. There's young people, and everyone just kind of gets along in the same way. And at the end of the day, the golf community is all together, and we're all the same at the end of the day. And we just figured, like, what are other tournaments like, and how can we unite the community in a way that hasn't been done before through the PGA? So Matt and I, we looked at how you can get between events, and we figured it was actually not that hard. And that's pretty much how the idea came about. And then when it came to getting a third member, we both decided that Jens was the guy, and he was sold basically right away.
I would be too. I would be sold too.
Yeah. I'll let Matt kind of go off that and just what his version of events was.
Yeah, I think like we were sitting there and we were talking about how the next tournament after that was the Genesis, and how we were going from Phoenix back to Newport Beach. And we were thinking like, oh, it'd be pretty easy to go to that tournament. And then the week before was at Pebble. And so we were saying like, oh, we could have gone to that tournament too. And that's just kind of where it started in terms of like, okay, maybe we should do like a few events in a row. And then it just kind of escalated into like, what if we went to literally every single event? And so the majority of the tournaments are actually pretty easy to get to, right? They have a California swing, they have a Florida swing. So week to week, it's actually not too bad. And so that's sort of where we got the idea. And then we figured for the longer stretches in between some of the tournaments, we would just kind of figure it out as we went along.
Very cool. Do you know, so how many tournaments are on the PGA Tour right now, or for 2023? Do you know how many there are right off the top?
Something like 48 or something. Like,
yeah,
some weeks have 2, and then there's like a break at Christmas.
Sure. So like kind of like what you said though too. So sometimes they have them kind of grouped together where, you're out Arizona, it's out on the West Coast, playing California right after. So you guys have purchased a bus. Is that how this is going to work as far as travel, or how are you going to travel and get there?
Yeah. So our original plan was to get a Sprinter van, just because that's what people are doing now. You see that a lot, but we figured actually a short bus is a lot cheaper and it's a lot bigger. So we're looking more into that kind of thing, and then just renovating it so that we would be able to live out of it for a year, just making it as comfortable as possible and going from there.
I know we're still like a ways away. I have like serious FOMO right now. like I fall down the rabbit hole on like YouTube of like people living out of vans, the van life, stuff like that. And I'm a hatch wagon guy for my car. So it's like I always look at it and go, I could sleep in that. And so the fact that you guys are doing it across the United States, like I'm jealous.
Yeah, it's super exciting.
Yeah, like if you need a fourth, I can leave Derek. We'll go.
Where are you? Well, there's a tournament in Minnesota.
Yeah,
so
I was going to say
we'll definitely do something.
We'll definitely meet up.
Yeah, that's our whole thing with the golf community too, is just meeting up with people like you guys, right? Like this whole community is just, it's easy to unite together and just cheer. It's like any other sport. You just cheer for the same thing. So it'd be cool to meet people like you around the country.
Well, the 3M is so cool. Like when you're here, it's a beautiful course. It's really easy to get to because they shuttle everybody. And I volunteered at it last year, and I'm volunteering again this year. It's super nice. It's just really easy.
The tournament in Canada is similar. Like they have it just down to a science in terms of like shuttling people there. It's easy to get to, and like the course changes sometimes. But for the most part, they're fun to walk around. The courses are beautiful, and the field is getting stronger too. So it's pretty similar up in Canada.
the 3M used to be on like the Champions Tour, so they've been shuttling people to and from the course forever. I don't know why I shouldn't say forever, but
quite a while,
for a long time. So I'd hope they have it down to a science by now. But yeah, you just park and there's a bus that shuttles you, and you get shuttled back, and it's really easy.
How many tournaments have you guys been to?
So I've been to
the. Oh,
go ahead, gents. No, you go.
I've just been to the Canadian Open a few times, but obviously, like, Dustin Johnson just shows up every year and wins that thing with his eyes closed. So
sure.
Yeah, I've been to like I said earlier, we went to Scottsdale and did that whole waste management tournament, which was unbelievable. Just the atmosphere and just walking around there, it was like amazing. But I've also been to the Farmers Insurance down here in La Jolla at Torrey Pines. And I was actually there last time I was there. Tiger was there and he was right in front of me. So that was really cool to see, just the goat in front of me. And yeah, it was unbelievable.
You pretty much picked the best tournament to go to, like right off the bat. Now it's gonna be kind of hard because you're gonna
I know,
it's like the only tournament where you can like do the party scene or do whatever you want and you can boo and all that. And now it's like a totally opposite, like now it's like golf clap, really quiet. But are there certain tournaments that you're like more excited about than others?
I really want to see the Tournament of Champions, like in Kapalua. Like I think Cam Smith won that this year, if I'm not mistaken, and he was like 30 under par or something.
Yeah, he ran away with it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited to see them like just tear apart a golf course. I know a lot of people like the US Open where, 1 or 2 under can win. And I enjoy that too, but it's also really fun. Seeing guys execute shots, and like this is what we see in Canada. Like typically the scores are pretty low to win, and just seeing guys hit iron shots from like 200 yards away to like within 10 feet, like it's just insane to watch live. And so that's a course that I want to see because it looks really beautiful, but also I would be pretty interested to see, or I would enjoy seeing guys just like absolutely, like I like birdie fests. I think it would be fun to watch live because I know I couldn't do it myself. It's not like I would walk onto Kapalua and play better than I would at my local course. So
the only time that we'll do that is if we're playing like on Xbox or PlayStation, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Jake was talking about there's one in Colorado next year and the elevation is crazy. So guys are going to hit drives like 400 yards. I'm looking forward to see those.
Yeah, I think that's the BMW.
Yeah, so they just announced that the other day.
It'll be a playoff event, right?
Yeah.
It's like the week before the Tour Championship with that elevation. Oof.
Yeah.
I've always been a sucker for those beach ones. Like Torrey Pines was sick, and I think Pebble Beach would be unreal too. Just seeing all the crustacean on the ocean and just like looking over the ledge and just seeing like the Pacific Ocean right there, it'd be like unreal, man. Like I think that's up there for me.
So you guys are you guys are gonna try to get a bus, travel to every PGA tournament next year. How is it gonna work as far as like work life or like balancing your schedules, and being that you guys are kind of you're in Canada, you're in California right now? Is that something like the planning for even just doing the bus and renovating? Is that who's kind of taking care of all that, and how is that unfolding for you guys right now?
Yeah, so the rough idea right now is we would probably just source a bus from like California is kind of the easiest place to find one. There seems to be a lot of people sort of buying and selling there. But we'll just basically try and find one, whatever we can get at a good price and something that we like. And then like the rough idea right now is Jake's uncle has a house in the town we grew up in just south of Toronto that has quite a bit of land. And so we would probably like park the bus there during the reno. And we have like in Canada, we have a holiday coming up this weekend, which is called Victoria Day. And it's sort of the unofficial start to summer that we have here. And so the idea would be, I guess at this time next year, we would have a bunch of people basically go and like pitch tents on Jake's uncle's property and basically have like a big, like fun long weekend where we have people contributing to the build. So like we have some friends that work in the trades and stuff that would be super helpful for us. So we're essentially just going to have barbecues, play music, drink a lot of beer, and use our friends for free labor.
There you go.
And then yeah, we would just drive. Basically, the first tournament of the year this year was in Napa. So if they were going to do the same thing again, like we don't actually know what the schedule is for next season yet. Or I guess it's 2 seasons from now, because it's the 23-24 season. We'll just drive from Burlington, where we grew up, to the first event. And then, yeah, like we're just on the road, and I guess we'd go home for a couple of weeks at Christmas when there's no tournaments. And then we'd be back in January in Hawaii. So in terms of like working, we're basically all planning to take like a year off from working and just live on the road full time. And for events that we have to fly to, we'll just park the bus somewhere that's convenient and fly. So that's basically what our plan is right now.
I think this is such a cool idea. I think like once this like all unfolds, there's so many other people that are going to be like, that's genius. And they're going to, like, you guys are like kind of starting the movement of trying to do something like this, and kind of like piggyback off of that. Is this like a record, like a world record or a Guinness record? Is it something you've even looked up? Has anyone ever went to like every PGA Tour tournament in 1 year? I mean, that's a non-player or anything like that. I mean,
I've Googled it and nothing's come up. So I guess so. Yeah.
Well, there you go. You guys might have to enter that in there.
Yeah. We'll have to call the Guinness Book of World Records.
I didn't even think of that.
Especially like on the last tournament, that maybe they'll meet you there and you guys can get like your photo taken.
Yeah.
It's unreal. Just like the magnitude of doing something like this is just insane, right? Like it's the time commitment and the travel required to do it it's even daunting being like one of the people that's going to attempt to do it. It's exciting, but it's daunting.
Oh, 100%. I could only imagine. So we're hosting our first tournament, and that's been crazy, just the stress and doing that. And I couldn't imagine planning it for a whole year of all these trips.
Yeah, we're not even playing it in. We're stressing out.
Yeah, we're just trying to plan it. And we're not
like nobody's going to watch us swing or try to hit a ball or anything. Like we're just going to show up and talk, and we're just freaking out.
Yeah, exactly. As far as tickets, like I know some of these tournaments obviously we don't even know where they're going to be, but like the Masters, for example, do you guys have anyone that's like helping you as far as donations or raising some money or trying to help you out with tickets, or how is that going to go? Are you just basically just going to try to purchase a general admission pass ticket and kind of roll with it that way? Or are you getting help on other companies or other social media platforms that are maybe trying to help kind of push what you guys are trying to do?
Yeah, you can partner with SeatGeek. I feel like everybody partners with SeatGeek.
Yeah, that's basically right now is we're trying to build our brand to where like I mentioned before, the whole golf community is easy to come together, and we're hoping that the whole community can come together and kind of help us achieve this. And we have been talking to a lot of people such as you guys on social media. We've been on TikTok, we've been on Instagram, we're emailing and we're outreaching as much as we can just to build our brand and just say who we are and why we're doing this, really just to break down why it's needed to be done and how many people would really be interested. I'll throw it over to Jens or Matt if they have anything to add there.
The only thing you asked, like if we're having any help or we have any help. The only help we have is the three of us. Like we don't have any really professional helping us. I think Matt's our closest to our professional at this point.
So did this get started by
this sounds like
a late night out of drinking?
Yeah, it sounds like a beer type.
Waste management, man. Waste management.
I got a text at 2 a.m. my time.
Yeah, we were crushing beers somewhere like in Scottsdale. Old Town Scottsdale, just having a time, and we're like, this guy's got to know. And yeah, you're 100% correct, and I think we can play off that as well. Just a lot of people would come up with ideas like that at the late hour of the night.
It's cool though that you're actually like pursuing it though, right? There's been a lot of those drunk conversations. You wake up the next day and it just kind of gets set aside. So, what's one of your guys' goals? Like, obviously this is a big commitment. Is there something that you guys are trying to do long-term after this?
Well, for me, like during the pandemic, I really hit a low when it came to my mental health. And in Canada, for us, I don't know what it was like in Minnesota. Everything was shut. We couldn't do anything. We couldn't see our friends. Even when summer started, like they closed the golf courses. You couldn't even golf, even though it was outside. And golf was, even though it took a while, it was the first thing that opened up. So it really helped me with my mental health, and it got me feeling more normal again. And I think a lot of golfers would say the same thing, just because, you know, it's seen a big boom since COVID, just because it's outside. You can socialize. You don't have to be inside and drinking alcohol inside, where it's a lot more harmful. And I was at a mental health tournament on the weekend, just sharing my story of it. And in between tournaments, like, our whole goal too is to be at events like that and trying to help people as much as we can, and use our bus as, you know, to bring joy to people's lives, and just say how much golf can really help people. And that's my goal. I know the other guys have similar experiences with that, and they have their own goals as well. But that's, for me, that's my big thing.
I know here in Minnesota, I felt like they really pushed to open up the courses early, because I felt like we were golfing pretty early on, because I remember skipping class.
Everything was pretty much
online
closed.
class.
Yeah, everything was closed down, but that was one thing that was open, was the golf courses. So we were able to play, and even there's between this last year and a half, I mean, there's been so many more people playing golf.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Which is, you know, awesome. That's kind of what we're all about, is growing the game of golf. But people have never picked up a club. We've talked to.
I have a couple friends who are like, "Hey, I've never done this before." Blah blah blah. Yeah, we go play. I know my buddy just bought his first set of clubs ever, and he's super amped to go play. And it's those little things with golf that kind of grow the game and get people excited. And, you know, it's the little things.
Yep.
But yeah.
Jake, I know I'll definitely want to hear kind of both your sides too, but Jake, just to kind of talk about that as well. Like, I mean, anxiety, mental health is so important. And I feel like, you know, it's kind of getting uncovered more and more now about how, you know, so like for me, golf is that escape, right? I like to run and work out, but at the same time, golf is that one place where you really you don't really think about anything else. You just concentrate on the game of golf and having a good time. So I totally agree with you 100%. That's helped me with my anxiety, just being out on the course and not having to worry about anything else. So I love that. I was actually going to ask, and we can talk about that after, because I'd like to hear from both you two as well, but kind of talk about that tournament. I'd like to kind of hear about that. But Matt or Braden, if you want to talk about your guys' goals, if you have anything like personal goal with this whole trip itself.
Yeah, like, you know, I'm similar to Jake, where, like, you know, COVID really took it out of me. I actually had to move home and everything, like, from like leave my apartment, that kind of stuff. So golf, even when we couldn't even touch the pins and there was a net between you and your buddy in the cart because of COVID.
You had a net.
Like, they put up a screen basically, and you had to sit.
So you did have that. So we weren't the only ones.
It was like plastic.
It's plastic. Yeah. I almost got like suffocated. I was trying to make a turn, and the whole plastic wrapped around. But okay, so I'm not alone on that.
There was one place.
Hot days.
Yeah. There was one place.
Hot days, no breeze.
They wouldn't even let us sit together, even though we made the tee time together. But because on our licenses, we live at different places, they're like, no, you each have to get a cart, which made me have to rent a cart, which means I had to spend more money, which is less beer money.
Social distance.
It was funny because you go and there's 4 carts, right? Just flying around the same hole.
Mm-hmm.
Good for pace of play, at least.
Right.
I guess you could say.
Well, I feel like that's how those fin cycles kind of started, because I felt like those didn't really start picking up popularity until around 2020, 2021. And now everybody has those little motorcycles you can drive around on courses. I don't know if those are in Canada, but yeah, here there's a couple courses that have them. You can rent them. I feel like that's going to help pace of play too, but I also feel like I'm going to get stupid and try to jump it, which is probably exactly what they don't want us to do.
Or the hoverboards or the surfboards. I've tried one of those. Those are pretty cool. Have you tried one of those before? Do you guys have those?
No, they have. They had them at a course in Burlington, and now they're gone. Like, I don't know if it's worth, like, because up here, it's not necessarily worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody's getting all reckless.
Somebody jumped through all the bumpers with the broke them. Yeah.
It wasn't us though. I didn't try it. Actually, I think it's a lot of fun. It's just it's a unique thing. I don't know if I would ever use it like every time, but it's definitely worth to try it. So if you guys ever get on a course that has it, you still at least got to try it. It's a little bit different if you're drinking when you're riding on a hub, because it's all about balance. If you snowboarded or skateboarded in the past, it's a piece of cake. But I wanted to kind of talk about, we were talking about, Matt, I don't know if, did you have anything you want to add about anything with personal goals or anything with this trip?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like a personal goal really, but it's just like it would be great to eventually get to a point where we like have a platform to just help people. And whether that's mental health based or whether it's raising money for charity or whatever the case may be, it's just how can we use this platform to help people, improve people's lives and bring people together. So I think that would be sort of a holistic goal for what we would want to do with this. We want to celebrate the sport. We want to have fun out on the road. We want to meet a lot of people that are also super into golf like we are. We want to bring more people into watching the sport and supporting the sport. But we also just want to do what we can to help people. So if that means playing in charity golf events or, doing whatever we can using the platform, if we can get some followers and we have a decent reach, like we want to do what we can to help people out. And I mean, kind of feeding into that is like it's not necessarily like a cheap trip. Obviously it's like a year on the road. So we're working right now on different ways to sort of figure out how we're going to pay for this, from, acquiring the bus to getting tickets for these events, right? Like buying a week pass to every tournament is going to be expensive. And so one of the things that we just have as sort of a backup plan is like any kind of fundraising that we've done. We're going to basically, if we have extra money, we'll donate it. Or if for whatever reason we aren't able to actually do, complete this project, then we can just like take some of the money that people have given us and given and sort of distribute it to various charities or mental health initiatives or whatever the case may be. So I think overall, we want to celebrate the sport. We want to grow a community, but we definitely want to use the platform to try and help people.
Is there a place that we or other people can donate? Like, is there like a website or
like a Kickstarter? Or
yeah,
Kickstarter,
not even like a Kickstarter, but like a
we're
Venmo
gonna get a
or
kick.
something?
Yeah, I'll throw you guys my Venmo. But our plan is to get a Kickstarter going pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
We also like, if people donate us money, we don't want it to just be like a one-way thing, right? We want to make it so that maybe you get like a t-shirt or like something out of it, right? We don't want it to be like, we want your money, give it to us. We want it to be more of like a two-way transaction kind of thing. So we're working right now to get our Kickstarter strategy going. We've been talking to Kickstarter about it, and we hope to get it set up as soon as possible. That's kind of our goal right now.
Kind of a weird thing to crowdfund for, because it's just kind of like, hey, can you just pay, like, can you contribute to us just like being able to live for a year? It's kind of hard to word. So like Jake said, we're working on a strategy, and Kickstarter actually has like a lot of resources that they provide to people that are interested in doing Kickstarter. So we're sort of working with them to try and figure out a strategy for how we're going to go about doing this.
I feel like people have crowdsourced or crowdfunded. Is that the word? I feel like people have crowdfunded worse things or dumber things, to be honest. Like, this is great. Like, worst case scenario, you donate money to charity. Best case scenario, you get 3 dudes traveling around the country enjoying golf. You know what I mean?
And donate, and you could still do it.
And
we want to do both.
Right.
Well,
And the other thing is like with the bus, like that's free like we're going to own the bus, right? That's free advertising space for us to help companies and help everyone, right?
Yeah. And this whole trip too, we're going to film everything. The camera will always be on, even between trips while we're driving. Like, there's one trip we have to do that's literally LA to Miami, and we have to get there in 3 days. Cool. So we're gonna film that. That's gonna be fun.
I don't think I could drive with anybody for 3 days.
Yeah, you guys are really gonna turn out how good of close of friends you guys really are.
We'll just throw an Emo Girl by MGK and just fly.
Oh,
we'll be okay.
Oh my god.
We'll be sending it, and we'll make it in time.
So who's the bus driver?
Yeah,
who's gonna have to be all of us?
All 3 of us.
Like LA to Miami in 3 days. It's just going to be like it's basically a consistent rotation of 3 positions: driver, navigator / somebody just keeping that person awake, and then someone sleeping.
Yep.
And it's just going to be a rotation, right?
So
We have a
who's the
rule that
designated.
you can't drive by yourself. You have to have someone like there with you, both for directions and just like if you're driving at night.
Somewhat
you need someone
awake.
yeah.
Who's the designated music player? Like who has the best
Ooh,
taste?
we haven't come down to that yet. I think we're all have our own. We think we all have our
That's
own different
important.
tastes.
Are you
I
guys
think it would
gonna,
depend
whoever's
on the
driving?
genre.
I was gonna say whoever's
Yeah.
driving has to gets to pick the playlist, maybe.
For sure, 100%. Yeah.
We're thinking about making a public playlist that people
Yeah.
can, like
Oh,
while we're
I
on
like
the road
that.
can add to.
Like
and
on
stuff.
Spotify. And
You
then at
You
the
guys
end,
have a lot of really good ideas. I think, like I said, I mean, me and Dom are listening to it, and with Safe Park Golf, with our platform too, we can help you, as much as we can. But just listening to it as golf fans and mental health awareness and just the trip itself. I love to travel. Dom loves to travel.
I just want to.
Like
Yeah.
it's
What a
something
man.
people could really get behind, because it's not just you guys are just going to go take a year hiatus and go. I mean, it's something that you're trying to back, and it sounds like you have a really good plan. So I don't see that there would really be a big problem with getting it back. Just a matter of getting it all put together and publishing it out, and getting people to see it, because it's very cool idea. I love it.
Yeah, and we've seen
Almost
early merch samples, and whatever money people donate to get some of those shirts, worth it. Like they're super nice.
Yeah.
Like I know I showed you them, but yeah, they're super nice.
Yeah, and like most people we talk to about this idea think it's really cool, and we obviously do too, which is why we're doing it. So now it's just about, and this is why we chose the 23-24 season, is we're giving ourselves a lot of time to really try and grow this. And then like going back to the playlist thing, one of our other ideas is just basically saying to the general population, hey, we're driving through Tulsa, Oklahoma today. Like, give us a recommendation. Is there something cool to do? Is there like a good barbecue place we can grab food at? Right. Like we want people to be making recommendations for like what we do on the trip and meeting up with people and things like that. So it's really about like, it's going to be us in the bus, but we really want to sort of have a sense of community and people following along, even though they might not be there physically.
So you say you're gonna roll the cameras. Are you gonna do like a live on Instagram or anything like that, where you can see even some of the footage while you guys are traveling, or
Yeah. Yeah. So basically we'll probably throw out a vlog on YouTube every, after every tournament, whether that's Monday or Tuesday, and just outline that past week. So the whole drive to wherever we were going from, and then the tournament. And then we'll release that on Monday or Tuesday. And then we also want to do a podcast while we're in the van too, or the bus, and release that at some point too. And yeah, just kind of have the camera rolling at all times. We'll have GoPros at the events. We'll, we have our phones on us. We have podcasts. We're just going to, we want everyone to have an inside track. And like Mike or Matt said about it, having a community, right? That feels like they're there, but they're not. We want to kind of provide that as much as we can.
And I'm sure we'll have like bloopers videos, like all sorts of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of hard to predict what it'll be. I'm sure will have an idea going into it, and then it'll probably evolve into what people are interested in seeing. So we'll probably have like a separate video for the LA to Miami rip. So it's just going to kind of be, we'll just have a bunch of footage and stuff and put together what we think is entertaining, really.
and it's just gonna be you three, right? Like you're not gonna have anyone else like recording you guys. It's just you three.
Just the three of us.
We'll have guests probably throughout the whole thing at some points, but yeah, it's us three we're the faces of the Superfan Sprint.
Yeah, we're driving, we're recording, we're editing, like all that stuff is going to be us. We do our own social media, so it'll all be us. We'll probably have a fourth member for the weeks where there's two events. So our plan right now is to send 2 people to the one event and 2 people to the other. So that's in those weeks we'll have like a fourth member, whether it's our friend Kai, who is at the Waste Management with us, or another guy, Robbie, that we know that lives out in California with Jake. And we have a few other people that are interested. Like we'll probably just see who's interested and have a fourth member for the off weeks, but it's just the 3 of us basically doing everything.
How did you guys get into the game of golf?
I played with my dad growing up, like obviously like being Canadian, right? You guys are from Minnesota, so you know this. We played hockey our whole lives. Yeah. And so golf was like our summer thing.
not to interrupt, I work for a Canadian company,
Yeah.
and I'm in a fantasy hockey league with them, and they're all Canadian, and I'm the one who's not. I mopped the floor with all of them this year, and I don't
Yeah.
know hockey.
Minnesota's
actually-
basically Canada, so
Yeah,
you're kind of
pretty
on area in that point, in that sense. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all Edmonton fans, and I was like, I
Right.
don't know other than McDavid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
The Wild,
Yeah,
man.
go ahead. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Go ahead, Gents or Matt.
For me, golf, like my dad tried my whole childhood to get me into golf and I just couldn't do it. And then I went away to school and a few buddies took me to the range and stuff, and that's how I got into it. So I started late, but I've got
remember
the
my-
golf bug for sure.
I was a super fan. Yeah.
My earliest golf memory was, I think my mom brought me to the range when I was like 3 years old. My parents have always played golf, and she was like trying to line up the golf club behind the tee for me to hit the ball. And I guess I just decided I was ready to hit it, and I just swung back and I just like smoked her in the face. And I have this vivid memory of I think I broke her nose, just like a lot of blood, broken glasses because my mom wears glasses. So that was sort of like my earliest golf memory. And then growing up, I just played like in the summers because I grew up playing hockey. And then when I started university, it just sort of became something that I would do when I wasn't working. Like we all worked in the summers to get money so that we could keep going to school. So it was just like a hobby that I got it a lot more into it in the summer after my first year of university. So I went from probably playing like 10 rounds a year is what I usually did growing up. And then now I play probably 50, 60 times a year, and I'm still terrible, but I have a lot of fun with it. So
all that matters.
It's all that matters. Yeah.
Yeah.
You hit 10 bad shots. As long as you hit that one good shot in the round, it always brings you back, right?
It's the serotonin.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
As long as you par 18.
Finish off strong.
Finish off strong. Yeah, it's how you play like crap, like the first 15, 16 holes, and you do like a back-to-back par, and then you're ready to play again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have like any
How did you get like? You can't have them tell you how they got into golf, and you know.
it's not. Well, it's about you guys.
Well, right, but they want to know.
oh,
about
we're
it.
interested.
He was born with the skill. He was born
Yeah.
with it.
You guys ever heard of Tiger Woods? No, please. No, I actually tried. Same thing though. Like my dad took me out once when I like a couple times when I was younger, and I was just so bad that I just didn't have the patience for it. I grew up kind of playing baseball, basketball, and football, mainly basketball. But then my senior year of high school, I really picked up golf, and my buddies and I just absolutely loved it. And we started just playing on the executive and par 3 courses, and that's what we did pretty much that whole summer. And then we like the two of us just were completely obsessed, and we couldn't get enough of it. So we played 4 times a week. And then obviously you get a little bit older, and, kids come, not that I have kids, but you get married. It just, it's just something. So I try to get out twice a week. That's kind of where I'm at right now. And it's just one of those games, like you said, with like the mental health and the anxiety, it's kind of a place to just kind of completely lose track of everything else and just kind of reset your mind and chase a little white ball around, which is absolutely crazy because I think golf is probably one of the most bizarre, toughest sports ever, for a ball that's not moving. And for you to not like it's an incredibly tough game. It's a humbling game. So that's why I became obsessed with it, because you can never really master it. And that's why I loved it, because I've shot a 76 and I've shot 106, so it's just it's a game that it's impossible to master. But you just try to get out and play your best every time. And not only that, we're talking about like the community and growing the game, but it's so fun too to like, if me and Dom get paired up with 2 other people, it's kind of cool just to kind of see who you get paired up with, or just end up, sometimes you meet friendship, but you meet new friends when you never, you get worried because like, oh, who's this person? And then you realize you guys just hit it off and you guys are like going to play another round down the road. So I've met a bunch of people that way. So as far as like growing and meeting new friends, golf's it's a great place for that. So
Yeah.
Dom, what about you?
I agree.
When I don't know what age I was, but my grandparents were like, "Hey, we think you'd like this," and put me in lessons. And I was like, "This is the dumbest thing." I was like, I got these old clubs and this old bag that doesn't stand up, but here I am. So I took lessons at a young age, and then I didn't have anybody to play golf with. So I didn't play golf until I was like in high school. And then a couple of good buddies who I grew up with are like, oh yeah, we like golf. And I was like, well, what the hell? Like, I'm just learning this now. So kind of ever since high school, I've been playing. I don't shoot 76 like Derek does. I was there for that. He was
That's not regular though.
like, he was just on like a hot streak. I kind of view golf as not necessarily a break, because I kind of do better when I'm stressed out, if that makes sense. I don't know why I'm wired that way, but if I don't feel like I'm stressed out or tired, I don't feel like I'm doing enough. But it's definitely just kind of something to do for me. I enjoy like the camaraderie of golf, and I enjoy the community for sure, like the aspect of everything. That's exactly why we started this. We wanted to give other people a platform to talk about what they're doing. I love what you guys are doing with the mental health stuff. That's super important. I feel like a lot of people have gotten into golf because of that. And I guess there's a whole bunch of different ways to view golf, because some people view it as like a stress reliever. I kind of view it as like an anxiety builder, depending on the day. But we all have the same goal, where we're just chasing this little white ball around, having fun with our buddies. But for me, it's just more of like a hobby. Oh, I want that.
So I don't know if
hobby.
you can hear that sound in the background, but yeah, I get all
Holy
sorts of noise. I
smoke.
live downtown Minneapolis, and so we get sirens, everything.
I want that hobby. But yeah, for me, it's just something to do and meet people. And yeah, I don't know. I guess if I'm like looking to get rid of stress, I'm a photographer, so I'll go take pictures of whatever, travel, stuff like that. But
nice.
I don't know. I don't feel like if I feel like I'm not stressed on the golf course, I don't really do my best. But I'm
Just
never
funny because he doesn't look
No,
stressed on.
I'm hardly ever stressed. Like, I know Derek and I always talk about it on here. You have those people who like overanalyze things on the golf course, where it's like, oh man, I'm like 250 yards out, I got to hit my 3-wood like this, and I'm like, I don't know, just give me a 4-iron and go,
No second guessing.
It just there have been holes where Derek's like hitting an 8-iron, and I'm like, oh, I got like my 3-wood, like here we go, like we're just gonna go.
But do you guys have any like crazy golf stories at all? I mean,
Other than what's gonna happen.
Well, besides that, but when you were on the tournament this past year, right?
Yeah, Waste Management. Yeah.
Did you get to witness the hole in one?
No.
Either one? Oh,
No,
you didn't.
So unfortunately, like the Super Bowl was in LA this year. So we were like, we got to be in LA for the Super Bowl, even though LA is the worst sports city in America. It's legit. They only care about the Dodgers and Lakers. Like they don't give a fuck about the Rams.
So
like, look, or the Clippers. Yeah. Like, or the Angels or any hockey team.
Yeah.
Well, the Angels aren't in LA.
Yeah, but they're called that. Yeah. Regardless, they don't give it.
Yeah.
They don't. But like, it was very like underwhelming the way they celebrated the Rams winning the Super Bowl, right? Like, imagine if the Vikings won, you guys would have. The town would have. The town would have been nuts.
So did you go to the Super Bowl at all, or did you just stay in town?
No, we just stayed in town. We went to a sports bar and watched it. It was fun watching it, but afterwards, it's almost like everyone went home and went to bed. It just wasn't
party
thing.
Yeah, we were probably like 3 of the biggest Rams fans in that place.
Yeah,
and like I'm a Steelers fan.
I'm a Bills
fan.
fan.
is a Cowboys fan, and Jake's a Bills fan.
We got a wide range of sport.
Yeah, but
that's the best part about Canada. We don't have a team, so like you meet people. And everyone supports someone different, and like no one really has a legitimate reason why, except for people who cheer for the Bills because they're the closest team.
Yeah,
they got a good squad now.
Yeah,
they do.
They could have won last year.
Yeah, they look pretty good. Josh Allen's a stud. They got a solid team.
Yeah.
So sorry, we're talking about crazy golf stars. Do you guys like have any like hole-in-ones or like any crazy thing that you've seen on the course maybe that stick out?
Just Tiger Woods for me.
I tried to fake a hole.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Matt and I tried to fake a hole in one once. Matt puts on a golf tournament every year, 12 guys, and this was like I was still worse than I am now, imaginable. And we were like, imagine someone got a hole in one on this hole. So I just took a swing, didn't even hit a ball, and then we all cheered and stuff. Only one guy believed us, but.
Are you guys gonna bring your clubs with? Put them in the bus?
Yeah.
Oh, Hundo.
As I say, you got to bring the clubs, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're gonna have to stop at some. Like this is one of the other things, right? Tell us some hidden gems or something. Like every week's not going to be. Every week's not going to be cross country, right? So like the California swing, for example. Like you're going from it's 2 hours drive between the two courses, and we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to kill between tournaments. So it's like, we'll play some golf, we'll do whatever. So definitely going to have that there, or have the clubs with us. I think we're planning to have some bikes as well. Like I think the tentative plan for 2 of the California tournaments is to cycle in between them.
Yeah.
Got to stay somewhat in shape on the road. So yeah, absolutely going to have. It's going to be tough to go to 50 PGA Tour events and not want to play some golf. That's for sure.
It's hard to like watch golf and not play. You gotta take some time for yourself.
Absolutely.
It'd be cool to play a course in every state. Like that'd be
thought
kind
about
of
that too.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
just
don't
want to
think
drive through every state to start, and then we can
there's-
talk
That's
about
true.
golfing there.
Yeah, we that's one of our things too. Is we want, except Alaska, obviously, we want to go to every state. So there's a lot of drives we're going to be doing that'll be like very weird just to hit them. But
Yeah, they
that's
won't make
one of
any
our goals, too.
sense.
Yeah, like
Like when
going
we
to-
go to the 3M, we're gonna have to like rip up through the north, right?
Like,
That's
yeah,
otherwise we're not
Montana.
gonna hit on Montana or Idaho or North Dakota or anything.
They said, yeah, when
So-
you guys are heading in our direction, hit us up. We'd love to either
absolutely.
play some golf or at least connect.
Absolutely.
Grab
Oh
some
no,
food or
we're
do
gonna play
anything.
golf.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
do that.
You're gonna
we'll
see how
play for
good
sure.
Derek is. And
No,
then
he's talking me up.
No. You're gonna see how good Derek is, and then you're gonna see me shoot 114 and have a blast.
Yeah, that's me too, though.
The happiest 114 you'll ever see, my friends.
I'll be the angriest at 114 dollars.
There you go.
There we
There
go.
you
The best of both worlds. Do you have like any advice that you'd like to share? Like, it could be not golf related, it could be goal related, or anything that you might want to, for our listeners.
Well, this would be a perfect example. Just if you want to do something, just do it, right? Don't let things hold you back, because look what we're doing, right?
Right. Nope. I love it. That's kind of why I thought I asked that question, because I think it's, like you said, we talked about earlier, it's like you might have these ideas and some people just get really scared to actually pursue them. But the fact that you guys are actually making it happen, I think it's awesome.
Yeah,
Like,
we're all,
That's exactly what happened. Like when we were at the Waste Management, like obviously, like you were talking about how you wake up the next morning after you've had a few drinks and you come up with an idea and you just kind of shelf it. Like we were saying, our whole thing was if this is as good a time as any to just do it, right? Like everyone just spent the past 2 years sitting indoors. Like, I don't know, life's short. Let's just go do it. So it was like, let's give it a shot, see if we can pull this off. And if we do, it'd be awesome. It'll be a cool year on the road. And so we just felt like we had nothing to lose. So I would be sort of echoing off like what Jen said. That would be my advice is if you have an idea or you have a dream, like just do it, right? You got nothing to lose.
yeah, and just like hitting the younger generation too, the crowd that's more getting into golf, that's more of the mindset that people have like us, right? So, and we're all pretty interested in travel. We all love golf, and we're just like, why don't we just do something where they both interact, and why don't we help people along the way? So that's kind of building off what they were both saying, is just do it. Yeah. Just, get it going.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like what we did. Like, do you know how crazy it is to start a podcast about golf?
I bet. Yeah.
Like how much research I've done and how much things I've done wrong because I didn't do the proper research. Like we bought 2 microphones and we only use one because they can't talk to each other.
Yeah.
Who would have guessed?
Really? Huh.
Yeah, it turns out computers freak out if you plug in 2 USB mics. I had no idea. So I thought it was just me. No, it's the computers. And it doesn't matter
Well,
if it's
that's good for us to know then before we
Yeah,
start
don't
ours.
forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, get an XLR. It's easier. Like, do you know how crazy that is? Like,
And not only that too, you hit those roadblocks, and the fact that I think so many people start something and they get stuck on it, and then they decide, no, I'm going to kind of give up or do something different. And I think that's the thing where like, let's try to make this actually happen, where you can just keep moving forward. Same thing with the podcast,
that was my big fear, is we were going to get stagnant and boring and then people wouldn't like us. And because Derek and I are very different personality wise, like even talking, like he's much more like he thinks about what he's going to say. I just talk, which I think is an interesting dynamic. But that was my big fear, is we were going to do this for like 3 weeks and you go,
Just shut it
I don't
down,
want to
pull
do
the
it
plug.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've already had that happen with us.
Yeah.
Like we're still very early, since we didn't start doing this, and we've only been working on this for a few months, and like we've already all hit roadblocks where it's like, I don't know if I can do this, or I don't know if this is going to work. But I would say like collectively, we're pretty resilient, and you just kind of keep going, and getting over those roadblocks is like is huge. So like there's been times where we just think about shutting it down, and we've only been working on this for like 4 months, and I'm sure there will be other times in the future where we'll feel like that. But I think collectively we've been pretty good at like sort of supporting each other, because the three of us at different times will hit that block. So we've been good at trying to sort of reinforce it between the three of us. Like, let's just keep going. Like we can find the positives when that happens.
Sure. Yeah, that would be a piece of advice to give you guys too. I'd give anybody. And so, the same thing, everyone's going to hit those obstacles. Nothing's perfect in life. And like I said, us doing this tournament, I just had that idea of like, I've always wanted to, do a tournament. And, so our goal, or my goal, is to have two each year, one in Minnesota and one somewhere warmer. But this is our first annual tournament, but this is something that, really want to see how it turns out. So far, everything has kind of come together pretty smoothly, but it's very tough, and you hit those roadblocks and it kind of just gets you down and sets you back, but you just got to plug away. But my thought though was, down the road, once we get more established from both sides, love to do some sort of mental awareness, benefit or charity, because that was the one thing that the tournament itself isn't really set up for a charity right now. It's just a fun 4-person scramble to get all sorts of people. We got people coming from all over, but that's something that I would love to do. I'm all about giving and donating, and if we can spread awareness and on that would be something that maybe we could do down the road, maybe host a tournament, or because I'm looking in Arizona for our tournaments or future, the tournament in the winter. So that's something that we could talk about down the road. But again, keep moving forward, keep pushing. You're gonna hit those roadblocks, but you got a lot of people behind you. In my opinion, I think a lot of people are really gonna enjoy what you're doing, and we'll be able to support you. So let us know how we can support you and help you. Like I said, once you get that Kickstarter going, we'll put that in our link or on our bio as well, and push that for you. So
yeah, you guys have like a very unique, I don't want to say niche group, but like you're going to get those people who like the van life, which I think is like super cool. Like if I could live out of my car, yeah, I would never be home. But then you're also going to hit the golf fans where you're like, man, I wish I could attend that. A lot of the tournaments you guys listed off, I'd love to go to. I'd love to go to the Waste Management Open. I think that'd be sweet. Pebble Beach would be cool. All these super cool tournaments. So you're going to get those people who just want to tune in and see what you did to the bus. And then you're going to get those people who go, man, I wonder where they're going to be today, even though they know where you're going to be because it's scheduled out. But it's very unique and cool.
I will ask you this. We always ask this question. Probably be better once, next year, because you guys will have been all over the place and have all these different food options. But if you could have one meal that you could choose from any restaurant, or it could be home cooking, what would it be?
For me, it's go ahead, Matt. I was just going to say, like, even when I was down in the South for about a month in January, which is where going to the Waste Management was part of that trip. I like to have a Nashville hot chicken sandwich everywhere I go. So that's kind of my go-to. I really like spice, and just like chicken on a bun with pickles is blessed. So I would say that would probably be my number one. Not the healthiest option, but
well, that's okay. We didn't say the healthiest, right? No, that sounds good.
I'm the least picky eater on the planet, so it's hard for me to decide because I'll eat literally anything.
Yeah, I'm not.
But there's a place here in town. I'm in a small town, like kind of near Niagara Falls. And it's called Papa Vince's, and it's a steak sub. It's called a Fat Bastard.
Oh, really? What was the place called? I'm sorry.
Papa Vince's.
Papa Vince's. Okay.
It's unbelievable.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Little hole in the wall spot.
Those are always the best places, right? The hole in the wall places are always the best.
It's like a diners, drive-ins, and dives. You ever seen that show?
Random spots.
Like those are the places we want to eat at, right? Give us these hole in the wall spots.
Yeah.
And you tell us what to order. We'll just order whatever
Right.
Like I know places in my hometown. If someone was like, I'm ripping through Burlington, where should I go? It's like, I can give you 2 places off the top of my head and I'm telling you what to order.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I want someone to do that with us.
Sure.
See, I don't have that where I live. It's like we have a McDonald's, and
That's America, man.
Yeah.
it's American.
Well,
Whatever.
I didn't really grow up in I grew up in like suburbia. Well, is it suburb? Yeah, it's a suburb.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like there's a McDonald's, and I think we have a Subway,
Well, we
and then
Yeah,
and then we have ice cream. But yeah, in Minneapolis, yeah,
there's
endless.
a lot of.
You
Yeah.
want tacos? We'll hook you up with tacos.
Oh, there's an Asheville. There's actually a food truck that has the Tennessee hot chicken sandwich, and it is so good. Especially and then
Food truck too. It's just like,
it's
Yeah.
like a
Perfect.
win-win
Underrated. Yeah.
for sure. Jake, what about you?
Yeah. So LA is pretty good for food, but there's one thing they don't have, which is legit buffalo wings. Like, I'm not talking Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm talking, you go downtown Buffalo, you go to this place called Pearl Street Cafe, which is like right by where the Buffalo Sabres play. And it's like legit the best wings I've ever had. So that would be my thing. Yeah. There's no wings in LA. They have everything else, but good wings. Like, they're
Good
only
wings.
okay. They're only okay here.
I was gonna say, they have really good Mexican food there. Which
Yeah,
I love.
Absolutely. Yeah. Mexican and
So
like I go,
bone in.
absolutely. Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
We have a
Yeah.
good wing place right down the road that we like to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's actually a really
Wings.
cool place to it. It's kind of like an old hole in the wall. It's right downtown, but it's like an old school hole in the wall place. But it's got the old school vibe to it. Small bar, but it has
See,
really
I'm
good
kind of
buffalo wings.
controversial because I like bone-in wings, but they have to be like the wings, not the drum. But like if I'm at work, I like the boneless because I don't have to touch it, so I don't get everything all
Yeah.
dirty. Pro
Right.
tip.
It depends on where you're at. Yeah, what you're.
Time and a
Yeah.
place. Time and a place.
I
Yeah,
also don't know
Fish
if I-
tacos. Fish tacos is another one.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, I love fish tacos. You find some like everywhere serves fish tacos.
Yep.
So
Just
I
gotta find
enjoy
the-
trying to find the best ones.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, fellas, appreciate the time. And again, we'd love to have you on again.
For
Maybe down the road where you guys
Yeah, for
would
sure.
a little bit, establish or get everything figured out where we can help push the Kickstarter and everything else. Like I said, I'm super excited for you guys, and
Yeah.
when you guys are in Minnesota, you guys definitely hit us up. Let us know when you get in the area.
Yeah,
We'll
for
take
sure.
you guys out.
It would
For sure.
like,
Of course.
we could do like a live episode.
There we go.
That'd be
That'd be
sick.
sick. That'd be
Yeah,
sick.
that'd
Yeah.
be really fun.
Live from the bus.
There we go.
There we go.
Love
Yeah.
it. See, we got all these ideas
Yeah.
flowing. All right, fellas, take care. Thanks so
Yeah.
much. And like I said, we'll talk to you soon.
Great.
Sounds
Thanks,
good.
guys.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.